Hallo, ich bin der Fabian von der Partei für Gesundheitsforschung. Wir sind hier live auf der Anduin Region 2019 und hatten die Möglichkeit, einige interessante Experten zu treffen und auch zu interviewen. Eines dieser Interviews seht ihr jetzt. Viel Spaß dabei. Okay. Right, our next guest will be Alexey from Open Longevity. Welcome, Alexey. Thank you for taking your time.
Thank you for inviting me.
To start off, would you like to introduce yourself a bit?
Yeah, okay. My name is Alex. I'm one of the founders of Open Longevity, and we want to create a mobile app that will allow our users to diagnose aging, treat aging, and create new, more advanced therapies against aging. So we are studied from diagnostics of aging. We have crammed around 10,000 of clinical studies, clinical trials, and scientific articles, and picked biomarkers based on three main principles. So, first of all, before our main principles, I can say that we see aging as the increase of chance to die with age. So we pick biomarkers according to that. So we choose biomarker if it is related to all-cause mortality rate. That's the first one. The second one, we pick biomarker if we also can make its number better, and that will prolong life. So some biomarkers you can actually they have their referral interval, but you can make them better, but that will not promote life. They are good in young people and they're bad in old people, but you can do nothing with that. So that's the second principle. And the third one, we know the particular therapy that will allow us make this biomarker normal and also extend life. For instance, you just can pull all the blood out of the body, and that will make hypertension better.
Yeah,
but
obviously
you will die. Obviously, yeah. So, but you know what was a huge surprise for us is that not so many people actually realized this. And if you want to have a checkup, if you want to do some checkup, for instance, in America, there are a lot of startups allowing you even to check up yourself at your own home. Like you can order a special sample kit, and then you drain your own blood from your finger, like when you make a glucose test with diabetes, and they will show you the results. But how do they pick those biomarkers? They have panels like you can learn what's going on about your liver or about your kidneys, and what to do with that information actually. How can you deal with it? You just, okay, my kidneys are good, or like, they only focus on are you ill, are you sick or not. But we focus on predictive power of biomarkers. We focus on how we can actually know before you're sick that you're gonna to be sick. So basically, we're gonna allow this. And then when we have users who are doing their blood tests every 3 months, and then they have follow-ups with doctors, then we will encourage them to sign a document and become a part of a clinical trial. So we can run a clinical trial of diagnostics of aging and develop it better and better, just making it happen. So people are already paying for the tests, people are already paying for the doctors, and we will make a framework of clinical trial. Here's the point where open science comes in. We do not want to, as Calico did or a lot of other commercial companies do, we don't want to close all of that information, say only we will have cure against aging. No, it's not how that works. We actually don't believe that current healthcare system or insurance system or big pharma companies will produce a cure against aging, because it's too complex. And you should use a lot of non-patentable practices like metformin. It's a generic, or you can use exercises, or diets is hardly involved in that process. So we don't believe that this commercial approach will work, but we believe that the combined approach will work. So we will we will get money because we do the best cutting-edge service in that field. Providing like people with real therapies against aging, reducing their risks to die. But also we will implement open approach to the scientific part. We will ask people, patients like us, to participate in these trials to find new, better diagnostics and better therapies.
So to sum it up, your work consists of making biomarkers more available to the public and less centralized, and also on improving that, and also to by that improving the healthcare system overall.
We want to create a parallel system of clinical trials which are run on behalf of patients and funded by patients, because we are all patients when it comes to aging actually. So basically that's how it works. We need you to sign up within our app. Then we will send you a sample collection kit for your blood. Then you put a couple drops of your blood, not a couple drops, you need to put some blood in those sample collection kits and just send it back to us. For instance, for US, that is the case, they've got a really good POS system, and that works for companies like Let's Get Checked, and for a company from UK like Thriva, they already do this. So then follow up with doctor comes up. So in California as well, there's a telemedicine is allowed if the physician can be sure that he or she goes with standards of care, and if he or she sure that that is okay for that patient to be treated distantly, that is okay. And then follow up with doctor comes up, and they make some prescriptions. They can make some also lifestyle changes, like advices to the patient, and give them counseling on exercising, on diets, on getting some drugs, for instance. And then our app will ensure through gamification features and through CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy features, that patient can actually include all of these lifestyle changes in his life, because that is the most hard part of that. But that approach already was proven by a lot of startups. As Noon, for example, they do the same stuff, but for obesity, and to treat to lower fat of people, and to escape diabetes, for instance, diabetes second type, which is treatable with that approach. So we believe that would work for the overall health span as well. And then, as we see health span and lifespan as one, not one combined thing, we will extend life with that approach.
Yeah. Thank you very much. That was very detailed. So if you had to summarize this up for someone from the general public, how in a few sentences would you describe your work?
Okay, I would say there was times when nobody used toothbrush, nobody brushed their teeth. There was some point at which hygiene was brought by medical community to the public. There was advertising campaigns. There were a lot of public activities which said we should do that now, and that became normal. That became at some point usual for us, and all of us doing that. I want people to take care of their health via their biomarkers, just that they take care about their bank account. Why should you look at your bank account every day and you don't look what's going on within your own body, until you're sick? I just don't get that, and we want to change it. We want to give you an easy way to track your health and to implement positive changes into your lifestyle.
Thank you. That was very indicative. So, speaking about how did you actually get into this whole anti-aging research? What was your motivation?
Okay. I'm an entrepreneur myself. I run several businesses in the real sector in Russia, and at some point money stopped being motivating thing for me. At some point I realized that I want to do something more in my life than just making good standards of living for my family. I got that I I was always interested in science actually, and I was always interested in medicine, in physics, and at some point I became a reader of some people who were propaganding in Russian language all that longevity project and all these longevity studies. And also this is how I met my co-founders, Michael and Anastasia. We also made this all together from that moment, and they were the first person who I ever heard from about longevity. And actually my belief is like that is most incredible thing that you can do with your life, to work on promoting it, you know, to work on extending that. And I believe that worth doing, because I see death as the main problem of the 21st century. As Aubrey said today, I think at some point we will be thinking that we were just too late, that we could do that much earlier. And I'm trying to put some efforts in that field and see what we can get.
Yeah, so basically acting proactive instead of waiting until you're old.
Yeah, you know, some people believe, like Kurzweil, for example, for instance, he believed that we can just sit and wait for singularity to come. But who would be those people who will bring it to us? I don't know. I can see only 500 people in here, and I believe there should be 500,000 people in here. And until there is, I feel that I should do anything I can to fulfill that gap between, you know, that quantity and those.
So speaking of being proactive, where do you see currently the greatest challenges that occur in the anti-aging research?
Me and my team actually see the biggest challenge in politics and in public activity. We believe that more people should put their attention on that they are actually should do something to live, and that is obvious for any animal, for any mammal, for any, you know, small species on our planet. Why shouldn't it be like the reality for us? I think we should strive for it. We should strive for being forever healthy, forever young. Why not? That is engineering problem at the moment. We did not have this instrument 100 years ago, but at the moment we do have. So we should do something. That's my belief.
I agree fully. So, speaking 20 years from now, where do you think we will be, and where do you think the healthcare system will have developed into, speaking for elderly people or people suffering from age-related diseases? What opportunities will they most likely have?
Okay, you know, as I can see at the moment, we are moving too slow. We're moving too slow. I think that will not work out for me and for you even. And for elderly, it won't work out. We need to accelerate that. That is in our power, in power of just usual people to promote that. I think that in 20 years with that, you know, for the 100 years, we can read the history of longevity and longevity science, and we can see that within 100 years, almost nothing changed. We didn't expand maximum lifespan. Yes, we did. Average lifespan, that was done by developing antibiotics, by implementing hygiene, and so on and so forth, and medicine as well. But aging is a complex problem. It's much more complicated than going to space. It's much more complicated than developing some molecule that will kill some bacteria. So we need to accelerate more funds, more people, more bright minds, more scientists, more young people on that. So that's would be only answer to how to have something happening actually within 20 years, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I really very much agree. So speaking about accelerating the process, in terms of finances, what do you think, in a rough estimate, how much money would be necessary to make a significant step forward?
You know, kindly speaking, I have no idea. I just believe that we should have, you know, Aubrey said 1 year ago, Aubrey said if he had $1 billion, we would have cure against aging like 10 years earlier. We don't know then what, but 10 years earlier, that's a lot of lives, perhaps like 400 million people. And you know what? $1 billion, it makes me laugh, you know? I mean, American healthcare system is $3.6 trillion per year in 2016. Now it's even more, perhaps around $4 trillion. We don't have only $1 trillion for aging, really? So I believe we should have trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
We should have at least $1 trillion. How much is that actually? Some macroeconomists here is how much for world economics $1 trillion. What part of world economics is that? I mean, it's not. It should not be like half of that. It's like one, probably 0.00001. So we have at least $1 trillion, I believe.
Well, that's a good number. But, well, scaling things down a bit, what do you think someone from the general public can contribute to improving this?
Okay, actually, we all do know Aubrey and all that he does, and that is tremendous efforts. And also my partner Michael Badin from Russia, he did a lot of efforts in that field since like 15 years ago. And I believe if we will have an opportunity to broadly to give a broad speech on our like political goals and on our ideals of longevity, I believe that when we could do better. So we're gonna do public lectures in Europe and in USA, and probably with collaboration with you. And we want to promote that knowledge all over the world. So we will try as hard as we can. I won't say that there are some public person that you don't know could do this. I just believe that everybody should try it, and we will see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Any final words?
Just let's us get that long life. Let's live longer.
Let's do it.
That's all that I can say.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time, Alex.
Yeah. Thank you.